I've been goofing around with this Monkees song, The Door in the Summer, and looking around on the internet a little bit for some help on this one. Didn't really find much of anything. What I found was a number of guys bantering back and forth about how the song is played, and in particular that opening progression. So me and my friend Mr. Half Speed Deck over here spent a couple evenings together. I've been listening to this thing, working the notes up and down the fretboard, trying to figure out how this thing's done. Not certain I got it 100% nailed down, but I think I'm pretty close. Thought I'd share with you what I figured out here. The chords I use for the progression, starting with an A minor D, index finger, second string, first fret, middle finger, third string, second fret, into a D major, into a, I believe it's a C major D, involving the first finger, index finger on the first string, third fret, ring finger, pinky fingers on the second, third string, fifth fret. But something I want to point out here is on this particular fingering, I got the pinky finger above the ring finger. And it's important, you'll see why later. Up 2 frets, becomes another D major, same fingering. And then into a C9 involving the middle finger, third string, 9th fret, barring the first and second string with the index finger on the 8th fret. Turn it around, walk it back down, past the D major, into the A minor D, and back to the D major. Now, a couple of things I found confusing about this progression. First of all, it's the finger picking. Ordinarily, when I play a song that involves finger picking, I pull a 4-1 followed by a 3-2. That's not really what I'm hearing on this song. I don't think that's what he's doing. He probably being Chip Douglas since he wrote the song, but what I'm hearing is a 4-1-2 simultaneously followed by a 3-4. And that is the picking sequence I use for the various frets up and down the progression. The other thing that was pretty confusing for me, and it was even more apparent on the half-speed deck back there, and that is that sliding note on the G string up and down the progression. And for a while there I thought there was probably a second guitar involved, but after experimenting around with some fingerings, I think I figured out what's going on here. Let me show that to you. Coming out of the A minor D into the D, there's no sliding note, but at that point I take the pinky finger, I reach up and I grab the G string on the 3rd fret, putting the pinky finger above the ring finger, and that is a fingering I use for the subsequent chords to accommodate that sliding note in between the finger picking. Let me start at the beginning, I'll show you very slowly. At the very top, I sub out the pinky finger with the middle finger, because if you don't, it makes for a pretty awkward chord. Turn it back around, walk it back down. Let me do it for you again. If I do it correctly, you should be able to hear the sliding note between the picking. Then he does another version of it where he simply strums it. So that's the opening progression. A little further into the song, he does some mini versions of that progression. Oops. And it's traveled on to maybe next year's places. So that's one spot where he uses one. A little further on in the song, he uses another one. It's even it's been further abbreviated. I think he comes out of the A minor D into a D. Just kind of rolls the D chord. And the children left King Midas there as they found him. His counting house with nothing counts but more. And that is pretty much all the progressions there. The rest of the song is fairly simple, fairly common chords. Starts with a D, goes back and forth between a D, and I'm not really sure what this chord is. Index finger, second string, first fret, middle finger, 4th string, 2nd fret. And yeah, it goes back and forth from a D in that chord a couple of times, and it goes from the D, A, G, D. Let me walk you through it real fast. basically walks to that opening riff again. And then on the fade, he kind of walks out of a D, he walks down a C major. And there you have it. Sorry I threw in my own little outro there at the end. Don't mean to confuse you. Anyhow, there's the song. Broke it down as best as I could figure it out. I think it's pretty close. You might want to fool around with it, add a couple of things, pull a couple of things out of there, but hope that helps. Have fun playing. Have a good night.